This Philadelphia defense has transformed into a unit we never thought was coming. This is now the NFL's best defensive core. But there was trial and tribulation before it was all sunshine and rainbows. The Philadelphia Eagles had a lot of cleaning up to do at the beginning of the season. With a new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, the players struggled to adapt to his scheme at the start. This defense is young, and a lot of these players need time to adjust to their positions and figure out which gaps to fill in the lines. It was shown through the first 5 weeks. The Eagles were one of the worst tackling teams in football during this stretch, missing 33 tackles in 4 weeks, which equates to about 8.5 missed tackles a game. Missed tackles gives opportunities for offenses to stretch the field with big play gains. Many people were concerned about the defensive unit. With the offense struggling, Philadelphia was in a bad position at 2-2 entering the bye week. Then everything changed quickly. The defense began to get more and more physical over time, and players began to evolve, and they started to dominate games. Since then, Philadelphia has been able to hold teams like the Ravens, Commanders, and the Bengals to all under 20 points. These teams I just listed are all top 4 teams in scoring right now as of week 12. If this doesn't show you how good this Philadelphia defense is, then I don't know what else to tell you. Let's talk about the players who are making impacts on this Philadelphia Eagles roster. If you like what you're watching so far, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. I cover football content consistently and appreciate all the support on the channel. The rookie Quinyon Mitchell has been an absolute shutdown cornerback since taking over the number 1 spot from Darius Slay. Mitchell has shadowed some of the best receivers all season long. He's allowed 29 receptions this season for 350 yards receiving through 12 games. By doing some math, Mitchell is only allowing 29 yards a game against him, while shadowing some of the best receivers in the game like Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin, CD Lamb. The list could go on. This kid is obviously special and will be the key to the defense's success for years to come. Philadelphia absolutely nailed this pick in the draft, and they should be excited for the future. He is number 2 in the ranking for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, and it should come at no surprise because he's been phenomenal for Philly this year. Let's not forget about Cooper DeJean either, who has stepped into the slot cornerback role after coming back from his injury in the preseason. DeJean has looked like he's never left the field since returning, and has one of the highest PFF grades in football at the slot position. DeJean has been an extremely physical player up front and is always contesting the football when it's thrown his way. His name is also being talked about in the consideration of being the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hitting on 2 studs in the draft makes the future of this franchise bright for so many years to come. Philadelphia stole Cooper DeJean in the 2nd round, and he's playing like a Pro Bowler. Quinyon Mitchell was drafted at pick number 22, and he's playing like an All-Pro. This is how you build a dynasty, and people need to give credit to Howie Roseman for building such a great roster over the course of the last couple years. Philadelphia has gone from one of the oldest rosters to one of the youngest rosters, just like that. Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond have been the best linebacker duo in the league this season, and there's no question about it. Zach Bond has played at an All-Pro level this season, making clutch plays every week. He's on pace for over 160 tackles this season. He has 4 forced fumbles and hasn't allowed any touchdowns this season. Dean, on the other hand, is right there with him, on pace for over 130 tackles. He has 3 sacks under his belt, 10 tackles for loss, and an interception to go with it. Dean was a huge question mark entering this season. Many wondered whether he would take the next step after being injured his last 2 seasons. Well, Nakobe Dean did break out, and it happened at the perfect time because now the Philadelphia Eagles have 2 great linebackers, something that doesn't usually happen for Philly. As many know, Roseman doesn't respect the position as much as he should. Maybe this will change his mind once and for all. The defensive line has been the absolute powerhouse of this defensive core since their bye week. This defensive front has been able to consistently get pressure on quarterbacks week in and week out. Jalen Carter has been a wrecking ball football up front. Although he only has 4.5 sacks this year, he has 10 tackles for loss to go with it. It doesn't help that the NFL doesn't favor premier pass rushers, especially with holding calls. Jalen Carter is often double teamed and triple teamed. Many times you can see it on live TV, Jalen Carter being held and no flags being thrown. It just shows you how much of a force he is during the football game, and he is ultimately the reason the Eagles are finding success up front. Let's not forget about Jordan Davis either. He deserves credit where his credit is due. As the nose tackle, he's not here to pad stats each and every week. His job is to eat up the interior so the other guys can get one-on-one pressure with a quarterback at a higher rate. So far, Jordan Davis has done a great job at taking up 2 blockers and also filling the run gap when the ball is ran. Davis is a good run stuffer and always around the guy with a football. Many people think he's a bust because he hasn't done anything in the last 3 seasons, but that's not true. His impact is much greater than people assume. Nolan Smith has been really promising since the bye week has ended. His pressure rate went up to 15%, which is around 12th in the league. Smith had struggles early in the season being able to get pressure on the quarterback. Now he's able to consistently get pressures, sacks, and tackles for loss. Smith has 4.5 sacks this season with 5 tackles for loss. Josh Sweat has also been dominating on the right edge. He has 7 sacks this year with 10 tackles for loss. He is consistently pressuring the quarterback and making splash plays when they are needed. He's on pace for over 10 sacks this season and may be eyeing his second Pro Bowl of his career at the age of 27. Guys like Chancey Gardner-Johnson is what fuels the energy of this football team and what makes it such a special team. You need players like this in your locker room because they not only bring the energy out of the players, but they also bring the energy from the fan base too. I believe guys like this bring out the physicality and make the defense want to play harder. He's a great leader and he's played great football for us this season. You can feel the energy in the air. This Philadelphia defense is a special unit. Each and every week, the players are having their own success in their own ways. Ultimately, Vic Fangio is a defensive mastermind and has built an amazing defense over the course of 12 weeks. Fangio has paved a lane of success for this defense, and it will be interesting to see how it unfolds over the course of the next 5 weeks. Time will tell what will eventually prevail. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions on future videos, please leave them down below in the comment section. Peace out.